right, dude, look. You gotta follow the play and stay ahead of the schedule, right? Puck's gotta be in the screen.
Can you test? All righty. We're back. We jumped westwardly. We're not in Hollydale this weekend. We're across the bridge, Wilminster, PA. Junior Rebels taking on the Philadelphia Resistance. Junior Rebels, 2018s in their road blues. Coming to you, screen right to left. Philly Resistance in their home whites. We're coming left to right. Hey, keys to the game today. You'll hear me say it all the time. You're going to play heavy, play hard, most importantly, have fun. We're seeing a lot of good spacing, a lot of good puck movement in practice this week. So get out there, play with some speed. Try to make something happen every shift. These boys and girls are ready to go. As Hollydale Coach of the Year, Mike Scooch, gets set to take them into another round of battle. He'll be talking about high compete. We'll be talking about that puck movement and having the clock in your head as you draw someone to you. Let's exploit the ice, flip that ice, stretch that ice, and then get pucks and bodies to the net early and often. Stay with us, and we'll be back. For some live action as soon as we can. All righty. Want to sound it. Resistance have come out. The Rebels are breaking from their bench. They send out Carter Holzer, King Gracie Carr, Nicholas Calvello. We got Milo Tanzola and Carter Del Grasso on the back end, and in the net, in the all red pads and red helmet, Chenzo Salvatore. Puck is dropped and it's underway. Gets to the near boards where Tanzola will put it up out in the center seam, but it's picked off by the Resistance. They gain the line. They're coming in. Holzer tries to push him back outside. It's thrown across. Gets into the far corner where Del Grasso will get after it. They play it up that side boards. Looking to play off that boards and back into the center. Cars all over it. They push it to the top of the house. They play it back across. Good containing net front presence by Del Grasso, who will get out on this. Carr supporting him, pushes it up that boards. It gets out to the point. They're going to go D to D. Gets across where Milo Tanzola will put the pressure on. They play it back across to the top of that house. Throw it towards the net. Hits a couple bodies. Gets out wide. While Carvello will try to get a stick on it. Holzer follows it up, gains control. Plays it off the end boards where the Resistance will collect and it'll get out to the dots. Tanzola doing his best to push this forward out of the zone, but it's played back down where Calvello will collect in the near corner. They play it back up to the point. They take a swing, they miss. Carr tries to get out on it. They play it back across. They fire it up and over, stick to side and over. Chenzo's net gets up the boards, gets out to the point. They go D to D with it. Calvello will try to put the pressure on. They'll walk back across. Tanzola sticks to the side momentarily. Gets a wide. Collected by Calvello. He's met by a white stick and it kept in. He's going to use some extra real estate. Try to bring it behind his own net. Tanzola pushes it back up. It's kept in at the point. They go D to D with it. Looking to play it back out in front where Carr will get a stick on it. Resistance collect. Holzer now collects. Holzer trying to step outside the dots. He'll skate this one out of the zone, then chip off the boards and get it out into the neutral zone. They're calling for a change. Carr and Holzer will put the forecheck on. Holzer gets in there. Carr trying to play above it, forces him up the boards. Where Gooch strips him of the puck at the blue line. Trying to come back in. Now whistle dead. Now there's a lot of bodies down on the ice. As the bodies were hitting the floor there, right outside the Resistance bench. Resistance collecting the neutral zone. They're looking to bring it back in. They gain the line. They step through the middle. Holzer interrupts that path. Got the defenseman pairing change, but we did not get our forwards off the ice. So Gooch gets a stick on it, followed up by Kevin Shute, and Shute will now chip it forward, get into the Resistance zone, and as the Rebels were pulling up for a line change, the Resistance are trying to stretch that ice, but good path to the puck by Jackson Borden. He cuts it off, forcing them to regroup. Thomas will pick this one up, gain the line, get into the corner with it. Emilio collects. He's looking out in front for Borden. Stick aside by the Resistance goalkeeper. Resistance collect. We're going to obfuscate this one up the zone. Play it up into the neutral zone, just under Gooch's stick. Shute will surf that play and leave it in the neutral zone where Emilio will collect. He gets his toes up. He tries to gain the line. He runs into a white sweater. And then the puck enters slightly behind him, so they whistle that dead for an automatic offsides. Above a neutral zone draw, just outside the Resistance bench. Borden between Newton and Emilio. With D'Angelo and Del Grasso on the back end. The Resistance strip the puck. They step in. They come in off the iron and gets out into the corner. As that posted the goaltender's best friend. Reese will collect this one. He'll reverse up in the corner. Cut off by the Resistance. Puck is sticking a little bit in that corner, so Reese will opt to use his own net. Will come out the other side. Kicks it forward, looking for Emilio, but it's met by a white stick. Emilio just passed. Newton gains control. He gets out into the neutral zone. He's met by a stick. Borden following it up, collects it. He gains the line. He's on sides. He gets his eyes up. He reverses. He's looking for that trailer. Throws it across. Gets onto the Resistance stick. So we're dealing with a little bit of red, white, and blue on both sides. So there might be some confusion early on here. Emilio trying to hit Borden over the middle, but it's read by the white jerseys, and they enter the line and come the other way. Good stick by Jackson Borden. He'll get into it. He'll push it back up the boards, looking for Danny Bender, who gets a stick on it. It's played back out in front. DeGrasso will play this one out. It's kicked across. Where's that one in the pads? Good stop by Del Grasso. D'Angelo gets out on the far boards. He'll play it off the boards of himself. So D'Angelo will get after it, but met by the relentless pressure of the Resistance. They'll go D to D here. Flip that ice 85 feet. They're bringing out. Good stick by Carter Holzer. Played in and then played back across. No one home in front of that net. So it gets out to the far boards where Bender will put the pressure on. It's kept in at the point and pushed down behind the net where D'Angelo will collect. D'Angelo plays it ahead looking for Bender. Bender collects at the half wall. He steps off. He plays it out in the middle for Holzer. Holzer gets past the defender, but a sweeping stick and a long reach keeps it active in the Rebel zone. Holzer will play it back ahead looking for Bender. DeGrasso will collect it. He's trying to chip it ahead looking for Campanelli. Resistance keeping sustained pressure here. That puck is bouncing around. They play it back out in front. Good net front presence by Del Grasso. He'll collect on his forehand, play it to his defensive partner, D'Angelo, who's looking to play it ahead. Hits off of a Resistance shin pad and bounces back into the zone where Borden will collect in the corner. He'll sell that with his toe caps and plays it up. He finds Calvello hanging out at the blue line. Calvello trying to drag past the last defender, met with a stick, but now they have numbers. They enter the line, and it's contained and recovered on the sidewall by the resistance. Borden will step through, he wraps around, tries to slam it home. Good save made by the resistance goalkeeper. Good pressure, good zone entry. We'll have an offensive zone draw to the left of the resistance goalkeeper. That appears to be Carr, Calvello, and Borden out there. Borden takes a body check on the boards, wears it, and the resistance exit the zone with it. They gain the line, they step past, they turn, they fire, hit the far iron. So Chenzo's going to give that post a big hug, as that's his best friend. Borden collects. Now we got numbers coming the other way. If we hustle, Jackson's got a step. He's in top of the circle. Turns, he's looking for Calvello or Carr coming late. Stick to side. And now the resistance will look to move it the other way. They move it back, but it's going to be picked off in the center ice stop by Kevin Shute, who hangs tough, hangs strong. Puck's bouncing around on feet. Shute trying to push it forward, or Borden trying to push it forward, sorry. Runs in to some resistance, no pun intended, and now it comes back the other way. Kevin Shute will chip that forward, leaving it for Tanzolo. Tanzolo engages in the battle. Carr gets into it. She collects the puck. She takes a shot or two. She gets it out of the zone, but runs into some resistance again. Who push it back forward, met by Tanzolo. Tanzolo's trying to stand tall. He has the support of Borden, who surfs the play. Now Carr will collect. She'll turn, trying to get back up the boards with it. It's pushed out in front. Borden gets that puck out of harm's way, and now Thomas Newton will get after it. The resistance hold it in at the line. It's pushed forward. Slapped in again. Carr's fighting. Newton's fighting. Is doing everything to get it out, but it bounces back free. Good surf by Kevin Shute. Collected by Tanzola, who skates this one in to the neutral zone, allowing to complete the change. Now we got Danny Bender trying to read it coming off the bench. Good stick by Emilio. Or that's Tanzola, sorry. The jerseys are tucked in. I'm struggling with numbers from this distance. But Gooch cuts that one off. Gooch gains the puck. He steps out in the middle. He gets the line. Steps back out. Steps back in. Drags past one. He's got numbers with him. Trying to get his heads up. Throws it towards the net. It's sticked aside by the defender, D. Collected by Dom Emilio. Gets off the stick into the corner, where the resistance will wing it back around behind their own net. They're going to collect this one, and they're going to move the other way. Danny Bender puts it into the zone, where the resistance collect, and they push it out. Reese Diazzo will collect it. He'll escape onto his backhand, and then he'll skate back forward, make an extra play with this. Driving out up those sideboards. Gets the pocket picked, and now the resistance are coming the other way, but we have numbers back. Clogging up that primary scoring area, or defending the house. Gooch knocks someone off the puck, but the resistance collecting the far corner. They play it back out in front. Turned, it's fired back in. Stick to side by Reese D'Angelo. Holzer puts the pressure on in the corner. He'll win this puck and come out the other side with it. He's going to get his toes up. He's going to go off the boards. Gets out into the center seam, and now it's moving the other way. Trying to keep it active, but the resistance keep it in at the line. D'Angelo following it up, gets it out into the neutral zone. Pushes it down the boards. Resistance will collect. They come horizontally, throw it out into that neutral zone. And Reese is going to collect just inside his own zone. He'll use some extra real estate, go behind his own net. Chips it off the boards. It's going to be cut off and kept in by the resistance. So we're going to want to possess this puck, make a good first pass. So that one's thrown back up the boards where Holzer gets it. He chips it out into the center. Unable to get to it first. The resistance push it back forward. Played into the corner where Del Grasso will try to get onto it. Puck is sticking again a little bit, so the resistance recover and collected. They play it to the point, but good read by Jackson Borden, who comes off the bench. He gets it out in that neutral zone, and now it's a foot race to the puck. The resistance will get there. Good path to the puck, but pressure kept on by Jackson Borden, who forces them back behind their own net. And now the resistance get their toes up. They're going to look to go. Cut back out into that center seam. They're going to call the trip. As I didn't see it. I think there might have been a little loss of an edge there. But as you guys know, I'm a biased announcer. I didn't think there was enough on the feet there. I think there was good pressure. Either way, we'll be man down, defensive zone draw. To the right of Chenzo, we have Thomas Newton, Carter Holzer up front, Ricardo Del Grasso, and Milo Tanzal on the back end to kill this one off. Puck is dropped. Resistance trying to get it to the net, but it's pushed out by Holzer. Holzer getting his stick on it desperately, trying to fight it out. Gets out into the neutral zone. Holzer collects. He's got one to beat. He's met with some resistance at the blue line. He plays it back across looking for Newton. It's read by the resistance. They're coming forward. There's a hook and a haul down, but nothing called. But the resistance come through the scrum. They get in all alone. Newton, good back pressure. Blocker save made. And good rebound control by Chenzo Salvatore. Keeping this one up. Knotted up at 0. Big blocker save. Good challenge. Stay square. We'll give a big shout out to our coach at Hydel. Training all these young goalies. Coach Bozak. I know Chenzo's there taking some lessons. He stayed square. He anticipated that. So now we have Carr and Emilio up front. They win this one back. It's fired in. Stick to side. Or deflected in on Chenzo, who stays square. Makes another huge stop. So we'll go to the right side this time. So this one's one back to the far point. Emilio will get the pressure on. They play it back in. Stick to side by Gooch. Gets out to the far side. They'll turn, they'll throw it up the wall. Emilio will get it on this side now. Where the resistance will push it back down the wall. And they're looking to come the other way. Carr will gain control of this puck. She tries to get her toes up. She's trying to play it forward. She's met by a white jersey on the board. She's in there fighting. But the resistance come out in the middle, but it's read by Shoot. Shoot steps through it. Now he's got his toes up. He's across the red line, across the blue line, waiting for some help. He'll play it deep into the corner, where it's cut off by Emilio. Carr's in trying to help, but the puck is left behind, and the resistance collecting some confusion behind that net. And now they're coming the other way. We're back to full strength, so we kill that one off. Borden comes 85 feet, gets a stick on it, keeps him outside that shooting area. They force him to go all the way back around. Letting them skate circles here, but keeping them outside the dots. Carr will gain this puck. She'll push it up the boards. But it's picked off and played back in the corner. We got 4 blue jerseys on it in one corner. They push it ahead. They step off the sidewall with it. They turn, they fire. Gets under the stick of a sliding Chenzo, but good battle. Good attempt. We had 4 guys over pursuing that puck. And as we said last week, it becomes very hard to defend playing laterally. So the Resistance take an early 1-0 lead here in the first period. Jackson Bourdon won that face-off to Calvello, but the Resistance jump and bump and gain the line. They push it forward. It's intercepted and pushed back out of that neutral zone by Del Grasso. And now Calvello is trying to push forward. He's in a foot race. A little 10-2 action by the defender. Calvello wins the puck. Leaves it for Bender, who's trying to put it towards the net. Puts it out in front as we weren't able to get good wood on it. Good back pressure by Borden. Allows him to step in. To Carter Del Grasso, who won that blue line. He's going to win this one at his blue line. He's going to opt to skate this. Some extra real estate back behind his own net. Come out the other side. He goes high off the boards. Resistance doing a good job getting above it and keeping it active. It's thrown in. Reese has time. He'll get his toes up. He's trying to skate. It's picked off by the Resistance. Good stick with Del Grasso, but the third man high keeps it active again. They step down the PSA. They play it back across. Gets into the near corner. where the resistance will collect. They play it back out in front. Met by Reese D'Angelo. Fired wide. Borden will collect. He's going to chip it off the boards once, twice. Trying it that third time, and he gets it out. Now he's all alone. He's got Calvello coming with him. He's got a challenge by the goalie. That puck gets out. Borden will collect. He fires it in. Butterfly save made. Rebound trying to play it back across, looking for Calvello. Unable to get it home. Good opportunity, though. Calvello will collect. He's going to play it back down in the corner where Danny Bender will put the forecheck on. Bender trying to win it back in the corner. They step out inside. Play is surfed by Borden. It's kept alive. He fires it in. Kick save made. So another good scoring opportunity. Calvello, little competitive contact there. Good pass to the puck. And now we will go to a man up as the good sustained pressure, keeping that feet moving. Good pass to the puck. Causes the resistance defender to haul him down. Hand goes to the knee. We'll feel 1 minute and 30 seconds of shame. We'll go to the man up. Brought to you today by none other than Dunlop's Bar and Grill. Holzer tried to chip this towards the net. It was collected by the resistance and pushed up the boards in the neutral zone where Tanzola will collect. He'll go D to D to Gooch. Gooch loses an edge there. Able to get up and collect and recover. Trying to push that puck forward. Holzer comes out of the scrum with it. He's knocked off the puck momentarily, but good second effort by Carter Holzer. Regains it, plays it forward, looking for Campanelli. Gets out of the neutral zone where the resistance will collect or look to come the other way with it. Good angle, good surf by Michael Gooch. Allows his defensive partner to collect this one. He'll go behind the net where hopefully it breaks on. And the horn sounds at the end of the first period. Resistance hanging on to a 1-0 lead. Stay with us. We'll be back for second period action. Second period action. About a minute and 20 seconds here. The team's breaking from their bench. We have 47 clicks left on the power play opportunity. All right, we're back for second period action. Shout out today, long overdue, goes to our fans that are listening halfway across the world on the other side of the pond. We got the Tanzola family that are overseas, and Aaron Bender watching from Italy. So our junior rebels, the game is spreading into Europe already at a young age. We thank you guys for tuning in. It's pushed forward. Newton trying to collect it. Holzer trying to collect it. Tanzola collects. He plays it forward, looking for Newton in that center lane, but it's read and picked off by the resistance, and they're going to step forward, try to gain the line. Met by Tanzola. He momentarily breaks up, lets the back pressure get there. Gooch will win this one behind his own net. He underhandles as he's supposed to. Now he gets his wheels up. He gets his toes up. He's wheeling. He's got one to beat. He gets outside. He's going to keep driving. Is that time we used a little bit of extra real estate. But in using that extra real estate, we caused ourselves to jump off sides and we ran out of room. Coach is telling them, hey, when you have that ice, you take it. You cut right down the middle. We want to play hockey in the middle. For the youngsters and the parents that are listening out there, we teach them to try to play inside the dots, right? You want to attack down the middle as much as possible. Defensively, we want to play the dot lines and hold them out, right? So as that puck is played forward down the center, here we go. Doing just that. The hands got to go up. He thought about it, and then he adjusted the head. I mean, that was textbook tripping. Well, he just went to the back of his head to adjust his helmet. So we were maybe unabated from the blue line. Could have turned into a break, but it'll come the other way. He played aside, good save, and then sticked aside by the defenders. Not sure how that wasn't called. But Chenzo will drop into the butterfly, get the paddle down, keep that one out of the back of the net. We got a family affair in the building today, as Mary J. Blige once rapped about. In the Borden brothers, it doesn't happen often, but the whole Borden family here taking in a 3:15 Mike game. So that's what doesn't happen, is the little ones playing a mid-afternoon matinee game. And we got the big brothers and mom and dad in the same building. So a big thanks to our scheduler for making that happen. 2014s were victorious over the Philadelphia Revolution earlier today. Revolution will keep it in. They'll go D. Walk back inside those dot lines. They step down, but they're met by some blue jerseys when they get into that house. And then Borden pushing it forward. He's met by a big body, but he gets it out into the neutral zone. Moving with his feet, trying to chip it forward. The Revs collect. They get back up ice with it. All the way down the ice. They do a good job forcing them back outside that dot line and then forcing behind the net. Chenzo was able to cut off that far post. Doesn't have to be now, but it's some. Defensive zone draw to the right of Chenzo. Resistance win this one. They step off the half boards, but right into that line of blue jerseys. They collect. They fire it in. Chenzo fights it off with the blocker. And then Reese will take it out of harm's way, get out to the sideboards, but he runs into some resistance again. Calvello will come the other way with it. He's pushing forward. He gets across the red, trying to drag down the middle. Plays it back across. He's through. He's in all alone on the backhand. Fires it in. Kicked aside by the Resistance goalkeeper. Resistance coming the other way now. Try to drag back out into the middle. Picked off by Panzola. Kept in at the line by Michael Gooch, and he's now going to step in. He steps down that wall, trying to get backside in dots. He's taking off the feet. He plays it across. Campanelli's on the doorstep. She fires it. Rebounds there. Another kick save. Another stop. Not 1, 2, 3, but 4 stops as we were putting pucks on the net. Campanelli with a prime scoring opportunity. Calvello with 1 and 2. So good opportunities, good net minding by the Resistance goalkeeper. Excuse me. Now we have an offensive zone draw. Rebels win this across, looking for Newton in the center. We got Borden, Newton, and Holzer out front. Gooch and D'Angelo on the back end. So we're trying to create some pressure here. See if we might be able to get one, but the Resistance jump through. Try to step back inside that dot line. They come in. Big stop made by Chenzo as the last line of defense in those red pads makes another huge stop. It chips it off the boards. Newton collects, trying to play down to that center seam. That puck is bouncing around. It's collected and recovered by the Resistance. They're going to gain the line. They're going to step down inside those dots. They turn, they fire. Big kick save made. Short side by Chenzo. Now Gooch collects it. He's out in front. He's got 1 to beat. He's trying to get that reach Pushes it ahead. Good follow-up by Borden. Borden's going to come down. He's going to reverse up. He gets back to the forehand, trying to play it back across. Picked off by the resistance, and they're coming the other way with it now. They play it forward. Gain the line. Get down the boards. They're trying to play it back out in front. It's stick the side by Holzer, who chips it ahead. D'Angelo is going to collect. D'Angelo collects. He'll reverse up. Trying to play it back across, looking for Carr and Newton, who are out in the front calling for it. But the resistance will collect. They'll use some extra real estate. They'll go back behind their own net. Play it back up the middle. And now they're coming. They got one ahead. They stay on sides. They step down the center lane. They get in. Forehand, backhand, back to the forehand, and they slide this one in. As they go 200 feet. We're back at center ice, 2-0, Philadelphia Resistance. Chipped ahead by Dominic Miller, who gets on his horse trying to get after it. Bender collects inside his own zone. Resistance will step down into the zone. Trying to play it back out in front. They're met by some blue sticks. They'll step past. They push it back in. It's stick to side by Carter Del Grasso. Will come around and play it up in the near boards. Where Tanzola tries to get out. Intercepted at the blue line, and now the resistance come back in. They get to the dots. They turn, they fire. That's going to get up off the blocker and in on Chenzo. So the resistance get two quick ones. Extend this lead to a 3-0. Campanelli will gain this puck, trying to gain the line. She's met by some resistance. But Holzer follows up, collects. He's trying to play it back in on the net. He goes into the end boards hard. Able to get up on his own. The resistance will play this back forward. Get it out into the neutral zone. They flip that ice. A guy who leaked behind our defenders, but good back pressure. Good clog up of the house by the blue jerseys. Pushed out to the boards, where they will collect and try to move it the other way, but they're met by some resistance. It's played back forward. Resistance will step through the lane and push it down into the corner. Ridden off by Kevin Shute. Holzer will collect and play it out in the neutral zone. This is going to go down, be collected by the resistance, and they'll move it back out into the neutral zone. Resistance will collect it. They got a guy south of our blue line, so they'll regroup and use some extra ice to try to come back with it in the neutral zone. They turn, they get their toes up, gain that red line. Now they'll dump it deep. Kevin Shute will get back behind his own net. He collects. He gets onto the forehand. Throws it up the boards where it's hacky sacked by the referee, and then they are trying to stretch board and coming off the bench, but it's kept in at the top of the zone. They fire towards the net. Huge kick save made by Chenzo. It's thrown back out. Puck battle ensues on the half wall. Shute will collect. He'll get some space. He'll move it forward. He makes a play. He finds Calvello in the neutral zone. Calvello gains the line. He tries to cut back across. He's inside. He's back for the forehand. Throws it towards the net. Kicked aside by the resistance goalkeeper. So puck battle ensues in the corner behind the net. Resistance collect. They'll push it back up. Past the pile. Puck battle won along the boards at the point momentarily by Carter Del Grasso. But the white jerseys were supporting the breakout. Follow it up and get it out in the neutral zone. Puck comes 85 feet. Ping pongs around on the boards. The resistance collector gained in. They're stepping down that primary scoring zone. They're in on Chenzo. He gets low. He gets to the post and keeps it out of the back of the net. They reverse it behind the net. Throw it back out in front. Hits iron as they got it to the guy in the PSA with the scoring opportunity. But that one hit iron. Bounces back out in front. Chenzo trying to find it. Stick to side. Gets into the far corner. They throw it out front. Good read by Carter Holzer, who then follows it up and gets pressure on the point and was able to get in the lane. Now he finds the puck. He's going to get out into the neutral zone. He's got to split them. He does. He gets in all alone. He's in. Makes a move. He turns. He fires. And he goes Bardowski. Carter Holzer getting the first strike for the Rebels. As the kids say, Mr. Bardowski. So that's Carter Holzer striking first for the Rebels today. 6:30 left in the second period. Pulls it to a 3-1 game. Puck is dropped. It's won back and collected in their own zone by the Rebels, who quickly play it back out in the neutral zone where they'll collect. They'll regroup and try to get the toes up and move it, but it comes in. Rebels trapping up that neutral line, or neutral zone in their blue line, effectively causing them to jump off sides. Resistance win this one. Thomas Newton jumps through the lane. He collects it. He's going to get across the line. He's got one coming down the slot. He'll walk down that half wall. Goes to the net. He turns. He fires. Shoulder to side by the resistance. Rung around the boards. He'll get out in the neutral zone. But D'Angelo will play it back ahead for Emilio. Emilio trying to find Newton over that center seam, but it's read and picked off. Push back up. Kevin Shute will get it active and dump it down into the zone where the resistance will get after it. Going to be quickly played back forward. This won't have enough legs, so the icing will be waved off. Shute takes a good path to the puck. Allows his partner to step in there and push it back up the boards, looking for Emilio. Resistance trying to come off the half boards, running in the way of Thomas Newton and his stick. Puck gets down into the corner and played behind Chenzo's net, where Emilio will wear a body but deposit said body to the ice surface. And now it's coming the other way. It does not get out. It's kept in by the resistance. Resistance will momentarily keep it, but now it gets out in the neutral zone where they'll regroup. Going to get outside that dot lines, and they carry it in, whistle dead for the automatic offsides. If you're just joining us, 4:53 left in the second period. Philadelphia Resistance leading over the Junior Rebels 3-1. Rebels win this one back where D'Angelo will collect. Didn't like the pressure, so he's going to opt to use a lot of extra real estate. In those plays, if we're close, if we're listening and watching back, we'll try to do some teaching as we broadcast. If we're within a stick length of that or two of the blue line, we chip that puck out in the neutral zone and try to regroup out there. But it's played back in. Calvello will collect, try to chip it out in the neutral zone. It's met by some resistance. Now Borden's going to collect this one. He's going to use his own net. He's got his feet moving. That one's going to be wrung out. Kept in at the far point. Kept in at the point. Played back forward. We're going to step down the lane. Step across the house. fired in off the breezers and dumped in the back of the net. So I was on mute as I was saying, but huge stop made by Chenzo. And now we're trying to keep it active. Carr gains the puck, pushes back out of the neutral zone, and now the resistance coming the other way. Good surf by Michael Gooch. Michael Gooch is going to jump into the pressure. Steps back up, he pulls up with the dots, he turns, he fires. Big stop made by the resistance goalkeeper. Resistance will take this behind their own net. Trying to buy time. They play it back across. It's picked off by Campanelli. Gets out to the point. Belgrasso tries to push it forward. It's read by the resistance, and now they're coming the other way. Good back check by the Rebels. Momentarily stop any forecheck and scoring opportunity, but they step in. They fired in. Another huge stop made by Salvatore. It's played back ahead where the Rebels will collect. Kept in at the blue line. They play it back down. They're looking out in front. Slide it back across, tic-tac-toe. Huge stop made by Chenzo Salvatore, and that puck squeaks in after the whistle as the referees say he had it for long enough. But another huge stop made by Chenzo to keep this a 4-1 game. You don't know what you're looking at. Played and kept in, deflected, and finds the back of the net. So the sustained pressure by the Rebs extended this one to a 5-1 lead with 1:42 left in the second period. Guys will chip this one forward. Michael Gooch will step to it, trying to chip it forward. Warden collects. He's going to drive down the near boards with it, gains the line, gets into the corner, looks to pull up, looking out the center for Emilio. Read and picked off by the resistance. Resistance will use those far boards. They get it out into the neutral zone. They're going to get up. We blow a tire at the blue line, turn there, throw it to the net. It's fought off by Chenzo. Puck is kept in at that neutral line, or at that blue line. Now gets out in the neutral zone. Fought off momentarily by the resistance. Now Emilio steps in, fires a puck towards the net, stick aside by the goalkeeper, and they'll ring it around the boards and try to come out the far side. Resistance will push this ahead out into that neutral zone where it stopped, fought off momentarily. Ping ponged around. They're trying to bulldoze through a construction site. Good surf by Emilio. He's active stick. Stops that scoring opportunity, but they step back out into that PSA. They're playing it across into the feet of some junior rebels, and now they push it forward. That puck comes forward. It's lost along the near boards. Thrown out into the middle. Resistance will step to it. They're going to come back the other way. They get past them. They step in. They turn. They fire. They posit this one and tickle the twine for the 6th time today. So 3 seconds left. 3.4 clicks left at the end of the second period. The Resistance extended to a 6-1 lead. Horn will sound. We will go in to the second intermission down 6-1, but we'll collect. We'll go over some good things, some of the negatives, and try to correct those negatives as we got 15 minutes left in this one. So hang with us. We'll be back for a third period of action. All right, we're back for third period action. Calvello jumps and bumps through the lane. He gets across the line. He's inside, trying to get his stick on it and fight through. Pushes it towards the net. It's fought off. The Resistance will collect behind the net. Look to skate this one out, but it's picked off at the blue line momentarily. But now they step through with speed to get in all alone. In on Chenzo. Make a move. Turn and score another one. Around the neutral zone where Carr will collect it. She pushes it ahead for Calvello. It's lost in the feet at the blue line. Calvello gains control. He steps through that house. Followed up by the Resistance D, who then pushes it out in the neutral zone, and now they're coming the other way with it. Good resistance by Kevin Shute. They play it back across. Fired in, gets wide of Chenzo's net. Rebels will collect. They play it to the point. Carr trying to get it out in the neutral zone, but they chip it back forward. Followed up by D'Angelo, who's going to gain the line. He fires it to the net. Rebound save is going to be made. Fired back in on net. Kicked aside. Resistance will collect in their own corner. They play it back across. It's paddled aside. Gets out to the far boards. where Calvello will try to angle it off. Holzer puts the forecheck on. The resistance will reverse up. Right off. Carr comes off the boards with it. She was looking to leave it for Calvello, but it's read by the resistance. But Calvello, second effort, will collect it, pick a pocket. Now he's down into the corner, trying to drag it out in front, met by a white stick. They're going to skate this one out. Chip it off the boards and get out into that neutral zone. They stay on sides. They play it back across. Looking to play it back out in front. It's picked off by Jackson Borden. Jackson Borden's going to skate up those boards. Second effort gets it out in the neutral zone. He gets past it all. He's in. He's got one with him. Makes a move back to the forehand. Turns. He fires. Big stop made. And good rebound control by the resistance goalkeep. So we'll have an offensive zone draw after that scoring opportunity by Jackson. To the right of the resistance goalkeep. Resistance will chip it around the boards. It's kept in momentarily by Gooch. Played back ahead with the resistance. We're going to win this one, get out in the neutral zone, and they're coming the other way. We're going to get back into that center of that hash to get to the dots. They turn, they fire at the hash marks. Put that one in the back of the net. Borden will push this one forward and then go try to collect it himself. Puck's bouncing around on that sideboard. It's flipped across the ice by the resistance, and they're coming the other way. They hit the line with number. They step in offsides this time. So Whistle Dead will have a neutral zone draw just out front of the Rebels bench. Borden between Campanelli and Newton. This one's pushed back between the Rebels D. They'll step in, they'll fire towards Chenzo, who makes a stop, and then stick to side by the Rebels D. Newton gets it out to the sidewall, but it's kept in. Push back, kept in again. Tough battle ensues along that wall. Ping pongs a little bit. Now it gets down in the corner. Resistance looking to collect. Carter Del Grasso, good defense, good contain. Borden gets in there and support. They play it back out in the center where Gooch will stick it ahead. Kept in at that far point. Fire back wide of Chenzo's net where the resistance will get to it. They'll look to come off the half wall with it. They step out past one, now pass two. It's one up to the point. Fire back in. Off a body and gets out to that far corner. Rebels will collect. Chips it off the boards. Trying to play down to that center seam. He's met by a white stick, and they'll keep it active and live in the Rebel zone. Cap in by the resistance. Resistance will pull up in that far corner. Chip it up the wall. Where it gets off the wall, Gooch collects in the center seam. He's going to get this one out of the zone. He's got some numbers coming with him. He gets outside those dots, trying to work back in. He's hauled down. Oof. Got away with one there. Retaliations go. They're letting the boys play today. So it gets pushed in. Borden does a good job trying to take a path to net. He wins this puck. He's going to step back to the dots. He turns, he fires. It's gloved off by the goaltender. Resistance get the puck out of harm's way, and now they're coming the other way. Good surf. Defensive challenge by Carter Del Grasso. They'll play it back across, causing teammates to jump off sides. So we'll have a neutral zone draw just out front of the Rebels bench, just north of the Rebels defensive blue line. Resistance will step down the wall. They'll play it back out into front, but it gets through 85 feet out to the far wall, where they'll collect the leader for the defenseman. It's picked off by the Rebels and pushed out in the neutral zone by Danny Bender. Dom Emilio will put the forecheck on. It's played back out, gets into the neutral zone and carried back in. Offsides. So another neutral zone draw, this time just out front of the resistance bench. Emilio to take the draw here. Tries to push it forward. It's going to get out to the half wall. We'll step back in. Whistle dead for an automatic offsides. So Emilio will win this one back, looking for Tanzola. Little miscommunication at the dot. Chip it back forward, collected by the resistance. And they look to go to work as they come down the near wall, but they're met by some blue sweaters at the blue line, but they dump it deep. The shoot will collect, will wing it around the wall. Gets it out to Bender. Bender knocks him off the puck. Leaves it for Emilio, who's going to skate this one. Tries to chip it forward into the soft ice. They get it through into the center seam. Good back pressure by the resistance, and now we're coming the other way. Good surf, good stick, fired in. Kicked aside by Chenzo, stick aside by his defensive supporter. Gets out to the point. It's thrown back in. Wide of the net. We'll get out to the half wall where the resistance will collect. They fumble at the blue line, and now we're coming the other way. Drag back forward. That's Calvello trying to drag past them. Stays with it. Good active stick by the resistance. Pushes the other way, but it's kept in at the line by Holzer. Holzer pushes it forward. Now we'll put the forecheck on. The Revolution will ring it around their boards. This one gets out in the neutral zone. Scrum ensues. Rebels push it forward. Gets out of the neutral zone. Emilio will collect. He's trying to get his toes up. He gets pushed outside the dots, but he gets his toes up. He gains the line. The resistance are there to contain and push it back out. They make a good first pass, looking to get it back out into that center seam. Play it forward. It's collected and pushed right back out in the neutral zone by the Rebels D. And then we'll whistle dead for that automatic offsides. We'll have a neutral zone draw just north of the Rebels blue line. That puck is dropped. It's one out to the boards. Holzer will collect and push it forward. Trying to find Gooch out in the center seam. He loses an edge. The resistance collecting. They're coming the other way. Carr's back there in coverage. Holzer back and back pressure. Able to try to push it forward momentarily. But the resistance collect. Cut off by Holzer and Carr. It's played up to the point. They walk down that sideboards. They'll play it back across. We'll step into the top of that PSA. Fire it in wide of Chenzo's net. Newton trying to chip it off the boards. Gets it out in the neutral zone. Michael Gooch has a step. He gets the puck. He steps in. He's got one to beat. He gets to the dot. He turns. He loads. He fires. Unable to get good wood on it and release that puck. Resistance with good back check. Flip the ice, and now we're coming the other way. They gain the line. They step in. They're inside the dots. They fire. Gets up and over Chenzo's net. Out to the half wall. Holzer will collect. He pushes it forward to Newton. Newton's trying to get out, but it's collected by the resistance in the neutral zone. Played towards the bench. We're not whistled dead for too many men. Resistance, play back across. It's picked off by Carr. Carr trying to move it, unable to split that center seam. They step back in, they fire it up and over Chenzo's net. Might have caught iron on the way over. Play it back out in front of the stick to side by D'Angelo. Collect it. They play it back to the top of the house. Good active stick. They'll play it into the corner where a puck battle ensues. Pushed up the wall. Pushed back down. They step. They fire it in. It stick to side. Played in wide at Chenzo's net. The Resistance trying to collect behind the own net. They do. They step it back out in front. Backhanded up and over Chenzo's net. Gets into the corner where they'll play it back up to the point. Fire back in. Gets wide at Chenzo's net. Resistance will step back out in front. They're met by a Rebel, and they fired in. Kick save made by Chenzo. Gets into the corner. They step back off the ball. They turn. They fire. Try to go short side. Fought off again by Chenzo. Jackson Borden collects this one. He's going to come out the other way. He chips off the boards. Newton collects. Gets out towards the bench. And they'll step back in. They'll step back in offsides. So we'll be able to complete the change as the Resistance had some sustained pressure. We'll have a offensive zone draw just in front of the Rebels bench, just north of that blue line. We got Carter Holzer, Dominic Emilio, Campanelli, Chloe Campanelli, Kevin Shute, and Carter Del Grasso on here. So Emilio will collect this one. He'll play it ahead to Holzer. I got caught watching the game. Holzer splits him, steps in, turns, fires, fought off by the Revolution goalkeeper. And I apologize, because I'm a one-man band today. So the camera, I have no one to blame for the camera work. It's my own doing. We're caught watching the play. We have an offensive zone draw to the left of the Resistance goalie. This one's met by a couple sticks and gets into the corner. Revolution. Try to skate this one out, but good angle, good path to the puck by Carter Holzer. Impedes the progress momentarily, but they hit the line, they come in, they fire, and this one goes top shelf on Chenzo. .3 clicks left in this one. The Resistance extend their lead to 9-1. But as we watch, we're trying to see the high compete. We're trying to see them make plays. This is a minor team playing a major team. So we see some maturity, not only in the skating and size of the players, but a little bit of their puck movement and how they attack that center, attack the offensive line with numbers, how they work out of the corners and off the sideboard. So wins and losses happen. They don't matter at this age bracket as we're trying to create a development program for them. And the steps that I've seen over the first 4 weeks of this season, I'm excited to see what comes the rest of the way here under the teaching and guidance of RL Coach of the Year, Mike Gooch. So with that whistle, the horn will sound. We will come to an end here in Warminster, PA. The hard-fought battle. Kept it close for as long as we could. Stay with us. We'll try to bring you live action again tomorrow if we can. I think we travel up the Jersey Turnpike to see bridge hockey. And if we can, we'll bring you the live action. If not, we'll be back with you next week. Thanks for listening.